Algorand is becoming more and more popular and an increasing number of people are starting to become interested in it, but many don't actually understand what the project aims to do and what chances they have in succeeding to do so. And just because of that, and because Algorand is starting to look more and more like the best investment option for a lot of people, given their status as a relatively unknown asset in relation to its potential, well, in this video we'll explain what Algorand is, what it aims to do, and what the future holds for the blockchain and its associated cryptocurrency. Algorand has been founded in 2017 by Silvio Micali, a professor at MIT. Micali, who is an Italian computer scientist and researcher on cryptography and information security, developed the project with a clear intent in mind. Therefore, Algorand came to life in the hopes of resolving what is known as the blockchain trilemma, the fact that any blockchain can have at most two of three desirable properties: decentralization, scalability, and security. But how does Algorand intend to solve it? Well, we need to get a little bit technical to explain that. Algorand uses what they call a pure proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. If you don't know what a consensus mechanism is and the difference between proof-of-stake and proof-of-work, then go watch this video and come back here after. Simply put, the difference between Algorand's pure proof-of-stake and other proof-of-stake models is that usually most proof-of-stake algorithms work with a limited number of validators. For the sake of example, let's say that a certain blockchain uses a proof-of-stake model that works with a limited number of 10 validators and they're selected based on the amount of tokens that they hold. Then the top 10 biggest holders of that blockchain's native cryptocurrency will become validators and smaller holders will never get a chance to participate to the network, so decentralization is more of a marketing prompt than a reality. Well, in contrast to that, Algorand's pure proof-of-stake uses something called verifiable randomness functions to select validators for each block, meaning that it allows every network participant to propose new blocks and vote on validator nodes. Well, that's how Algorand proposes to promote decentralization, but it's also the way that they're hoping to achieve the two other desirable properties, namely scalability and security. See, the way that Algorand's consensus mechanism works is that the more algo tokens they stake, the higher the influence a staker has on the network, and the higher their chances of being selected for block proposals. This mechanism incentivizes larger stakes, which increases network security and reduces the circulation supply of algo. Scalability, though, is also part of the equation, so let's take a look at how Algorand is doing regarding that. Well, the structure of their consensus mechanism doesn't compromise on this end, and the blockchain is capable of achieving high transaction throughput with minimal fees, making it a highly scalable platform and making for a huge advantage over some big competitors such as Ethereum. Now that we've talked about all these technicalities, what does Algorand actually offer to its users? Well, the blockchain is smart contract compatible, making for an entire environment, or as it's usually called in the crypto field, ecosystem, with third-party projects running on it, comprising of NFT marketplaces, crypto games, and everything else you could imagine. To sum it up, given Algorand's innovative approach to achieving consensus, the blockchain capabilities, and the expertise of the team behind it, it's got every reason to make investors and enthusiasts optimistic for the future. Silvio Micali, the founder and mastermind behind the project, is one of the most prominent figures in the cryptography field, and many of the technologies that Algorand uses are his own inventions, but can Algorand actually stand as a serious competitor to Ethereum in the future? Well, that's impossible to say, and it all comes down to having as much knowledge as you can on both blockchains and try to predict the most reasonable outcome for the future on your own. So if you want to learn everything you need to know about Ethereum, then you should go watch this video next.